What up, folks? It's your pal, Coach Vino, and this is the Glass Half Full podcast where we turn setbacks into comebacks. Let's go.
Yo, 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 everybody goes through setbacks, but don't let these setbacks make you take a step back. Step back from the situation, put your brush down, envision the picture you're painting, because everybody goes through setbacks.
All right. Welcome back to the podcast. I am Coach Vino, the people's bartender and your certified coach from the Boogie Down Bronx. So I hope everybody's well since the last time we hung out. I'm doing fantastic, and I've got a heavy one today, but a necessary one, because we're going to be talking about turning trauma into triumph. And, before we dive in, though, I just want to say something, okay? Trauma is not a competition. It doesn't matter where your trauma comes from, right? Whether it's a broken home, a toxic relationship, maybe you lost somebody, abuse, poverty, racism, rejection, whatever the flavor, pain is pain. And most of us are carrying around something that we've never fully unpacked, including myself. And I'm working on it. I work on it every single day. But here's what I've learned. Trauma might have shaped you, but it doesn't have to define you. See, the world's real good at telling you, get over it. Or it says, I just pretend it never happened. But the truth is, what you bury still lives inside you. And let me tell you something, it doesn't stay buried. It shows up in how you love, how you trust, how you work, and most importantly, how you see yourself. And that's why we got to stop running from it, and we got to start facing it. But not just to relive it. It's not we're trying to relive anything. We're trying to reclaim it. Because here's a little bit of a mindset shift for you, okay? Trauma doesn't have to be the end of the story. It can actually be the beginning of your comeback. Okay? I want people in the back, I want to make sure you heard this. Trauma can be the beginning of your comeback. We love comebacks on this podcast. All right, so let me break this down for you real quick. Everybody loves the story of an underdog, right? Take Rocky or Rudy. Every superhero origin story starts with some sort of pain. Right? Think about Batman or Daredevil. But when it's our pain, I'm not trying to romanticize suffering, right? Let's get that out the way. This is not some sort of, everything happens for a reason, blah, blah, blah. No. Some things should never have happened, period, end of story. I've had shit happen in my life to me that should never have fucking happened, but it did. Okay? But what we're going to do instead is we're going to make it count for something. All right? And let's talk about how we're going to do that. Step one is to acknowledge it. You can't heal what you pretend doesn't exist. Okay? Don't minimize your pain just because someone else had it worse. Or because you don't want to face it. Okay? This is not the pain Olympics. You know what I'm saying? Your story matters. Your emotions matter. And you've got to give yourself permission to feel them, even if it does hurt. Maybe especially because it hurts. Step two is you need to reframe the narrative. Okay? You're not just a victim of what happens. And don't listen, you are a victim, okay? But you're not only a victim, you're also a survivor. You're someone who went through the fire and you came out different. Maybe stronger, maybe wiser, maybe with a purpose that you wouldn't have had otherwise. Your trauma doesn't have to be your identity, but let me tell you something. It can be your fuel. Step 3, do the work. I'm talking about therapy, journaling, coaching, meditation, deep conversations, whatever helps you process instead of suppress. Because trust me, when you don't deal with it, it's going to deal with you. Okay? You ever see somebody lash out over something small? Okay? That's not about the spilled coffee. That's not about the almost swerving out of traffic. No. That's old wounds flaring up. That is unhealed pain that's just begging for attention. So do the work. Not because you owe it to anyone else either, but because you owe it to yourself. But the beauty of it is, when you work on yourself, eventually others do benefit from it, especially your wife, your kids, your husband, your mother, your father, your brothers, everybody that you love. Okay? And finally, use it. Okay? Use your pain as a platform. Okay? Inspire someone, mentor somebody, create something, start a business. Look, speak your truth. You never know who's waiting for someone like you, specifically because of what you've been through, to give that person hope. I know that I've been that voice for people myself. Small as it is, small audience as it is at the moment, there's still people who have DM'd me, who have emailed me, my clients who I've worked with, whether it's the podcast, social media, or my firm. Let me tell you something. When you get someone telling you, hey, Coach Vino, what you said, that was so powerful, and it really helped me. It's the greatest reward. And you know why it's really rewarding? Not because your ego's going, yeah, look at me. It's because you heal more and more every time you help somebody else heal. Okay? Listen, I didn't start this podcast because my life was perfect or my life is perfect. I started it because life is hard. And I found a way through. So I wanted to throw a rope back to anybody else who might be stuck in a pit. Okay? Because I'm at a better place now where I can help somebody else. And then somebody's going to continue, that's going to help me someday. Because my life ain't perfect. That's the real triumph. Not pretending that it never happened, but saying, yeah, it happened, and look at me now. Okay? My story is nuts. Maybe I write a book about it one day. But until then, what I'm doing right now is sharing what I can to help you through your story. I want you to look at your past like a fire that tried to burn you. And instead of running from it, you walk out that blaze like a warrior. The warrior that you are. Not untouched, not unbroken, but with your head high and your purpose clearer than it's ever been. And just remember something. There is somebody out there watching your journey right now, silently thinking, if they can do it, maybe I can too. All right? So do it for you. But also show them what's possible. Turn your trauma into a testimony. Turn your mess into a mission, your pain into a power, and your trauma into a triumph. Well, that's all I got for you folks. If you enjoyed today's podcast, I'd appreciate if you left a review so you can help Coach Vino feed the hungry algorithm. If you or someone you know might want to work with Coach Vino, you could visit my website at coachvinollc.com. You can also follow the podcast on social media where I share more of my thoughts in bite sizes, and it also gives me an opportunity to interact with you guys directly, which is always fun. I can be found pretty much anywhere at Coach Vino Podcast. And remember, folks, if nobody else tells you, Coach Vino appreciate you. Cheers.
I find it hard to reveal these thoughts and express what I'm feeling in a hip-hop form. But I was born to succeed, so as long as I breathe, ain't nobody on this earth gonna crush my dreams. Yo, this might be the end of the verse, but this is just the start of a new beginning. Word.